It has been 60 years since the Packers and Chiefs met down in Southern California in what would come to be known as the first Super Bowl. But now, at modern Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, we are counting down to Super Bowl 60. And we've got a great matchup in store. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion New England Patriots taking on the NFC champions. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. And this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys don't lack for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get where they are. Everybody knows their story this season. What's the key for them as they start this Super Bowl?
Let's go full cliche on this one because it works. Remember what got you here. Been a winning formula all season long. This is a team that when we saw them in the preseason, we said they look like a group that has what it takes to be a Super Bowl winning team. And we've been proven right by what we've seen throughout the season.
Their meeting in Super Bowl 49 was thrilling. What's in store here? The Pats and Seahawks are underway. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Under center will be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we're looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Second down and 10.
Now a 2nd and 10. Off of play action, Darnold. Now he'll tuck this and run. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Here's Darnold. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the Seahawks first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
And every time you step on a field, coaches are always going to talk about how important tackling is in a ball game. In this one, especially so. You can't allow these guys to break free and get extra yards after contact. And that's exactly what happens here. That can't continue as this game goes on.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. 46 yards rushing for him now on their opening drive of the Super Bowl. He's been reliable all year, and he continues that reliability here on the biggest stage.
And when we were in a production meeting with the offensive coordinator, didn't he kind of mention, maybe even smile about the idea of running the football? It's worked well for them.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Walker going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4 down territory? Might he go for it?
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. A tough time to take the sack. Now it's 4th and goal, and that's a loss of 6.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. This a 27-yard attempt here. Myers' kick is good. 3 points, probably not going to win this Super Bowl, but at least you get something on the opening drive.
And it's certainly not going to lose it. So the bottom line is, come away with the points now, come back and get greedy later, and try and put it in the end zone.
Jason Myers.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And there are a lot of quarterbacks who had terrific careers. Think about guys like Phillip Rivers, Randall Cunningham, Dan Fouts, Warren Moon. But they never got to a Super Bowl. Yet here he is in his 2nd NFL season, already getting his chance. And we harken back to Dan Marino. Another superstar made it in his 2nd year, lost the game, and never made it back again.
He's got Hooper on the short connection. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England 1st down. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Ohio State. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
They'll throw with May. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. A play fake, and it's Darnold. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. K'Lavon Chaisson, the former 1st-rounder, in there to get the sack. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Now Darnold setting up the screen here. This is Walker. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So here's a 3rd and 14. To throw is Darnold. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Milton Williams in there to him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Here's Jones. And just a net of 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Henderson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
To the air, May. They set up the screen for Henderson. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And they're going to go with the jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it.
Stephon Diggs, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Pats are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Now Andres Borregales for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3.
Seahawks 3.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Play action. It's Darnold. This goes to the tight end, Eric Saubert. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 64 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield.
Brought down by Craig Woodson. 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 27-yard line.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. Straight ahead, Walker. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there.
The tackle made by Harold
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back into 32. Christian Barmore getting in there to drop him. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out, because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now it's Darnold. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away.
It's 4th down.
And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. And we've got a lot more ahead of us here in Super Bowl 60. Second quarter coming your way next. 7-6 our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. Appreciate everyone joining us. Super Bowl 60 here tonight. Time to begin the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis up in the booth as we get set to resume play. The Pats at the line, ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
And the Patriot first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 31. May going to give it to Henderson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's May. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole.
A gain of 4.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. A give to the fullback on the dive. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Well, there's a trust factor in that call. Turning and handing it to the big man in the backfield, trying to pick up the first down. But how about the defense? They were ready for him, and they were able to stop him.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. That is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver, they get the first down. It's now first and goal.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry. Touchdown! Hunter Henry, a 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they'd love to get him the football, and right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Borregales now for the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. That time, a 9-play drive. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
They'll get this one to Cup, complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Darnold now to throw. Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Walker now at 1st and 10. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Darnold from the gun. It gets this complete to Shaheed. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And it'll leave them with 3rd and a full yard to go.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The offense on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. 2 yards is the pickup, and it's good enough for a Seattle first.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. From the gun, it's Walker. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. And complete to Smith and Jigba. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it third down.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up third and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. And the tight end goes in motion left. Back to throw, Darnold. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So on fourth down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Myers' kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold him to a three-point kick. Now you're giving him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
Faking the give, Darnold. He finds Smith and Jigba. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it second down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
4 yards to go on second down from the 7. They'll run the toss to Walker. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Seahawks have come back to make it a 2-point game. So a toss play there does the trick as he's into the end zone.
And you don't run this unless you're sure you've got a guy who has the speed who can get to the edge, because what you're hoping for him to win the race to the corner and turn it upfield to the end zone.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this is up and good. It brings him within a point now. It's 14-13. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. He's thrown touchdown passes on his last 2 drives as he begins here, 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Here's May. It's complete to Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the shotgun, they run with Henderson. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On second down, here's the option. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result. Then their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, Henderson. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. To throw, it's May. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, the first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
On fourth down, out comes Andres Borregales for the Patriot field goal. And his kick is good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Back out now comes Kenneth Walker in the Seattle offense. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Darnold. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Patriots take over. Looking to throw. May. Short pass caught by Henry. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts.
2 yards on the pickup.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. They go play action now. May. And his throw is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Short pass caught by Henry. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 12. And a Patriot first down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Up the middle, it's Henderson. Oh, look at the juke. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the shotgun, May with it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing here is May. And he spots Henderson open left side. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
Here's Bryce Behringer now. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they'll start from their own 5, so you'd have to imagine they'll stay conservative. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a gain of 6, and that will be the final play of this first half.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, we thank you as always, and we'll see what happens here in the second half. Both teams trying to find the right formula to come out with the victory. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And able to get this out to the 25. And the Patriots going to take over here to start quarter number 3. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll run with Henderson here to begin the drive. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
A quick throw taken in by Diggs.
Hayes pass complete to number 8, Stephon Diggs. It's a gain of 9. Makes it 3rd and inches.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Now May on the sneak. And he will have a Patriots first down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
They'll throw with May. A quick throw going to be caught by Diggs. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
2nd and 6. From the shotgun, it's May. Short pass caught by Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
First down, New England.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Up the middle, here's Henderson. Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The tight end Henry here in motion. To the air, May. Short pass caught by Henry. So the completion good for 7 there. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
They're going to look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
And his kick is indeed good, and that'll make this a 7-point game. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the 2nd half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Looking to put a drive together. Hands it to Walker to begin the series. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 96 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And going right back to Walker. And this will be a Seahawks first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Up the middle, here's Walker. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Here's 2nd and 3. To throw is Darnold. Over the middle and complete to Shaheed. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
That's another Seahawks first down. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Walker is in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Now Myers for the extra point. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd quarter.
That ties the game.
A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
Jason Myers.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. New England's offense set to go. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. Looking to put a drive together. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That pass complete. Here's Butte with it. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 29-yard line.
Out of the gun, a run with Henderson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a New England first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Third down and 6. He'll drop to throw. Right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again. And he will have the Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
First down, New England.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Third quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Henry. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
On first down, it's Henderson. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Seahawks have recovered.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the positive side this time. Yeah, there was a fumble at the end of this one, but what a sustained drive. And if they can keep stringing those together, you got to like their chances.
And credit the defense, though. You're out there for that long, you start to get tired, but they were able to get the turnover.
Did you just credit the defense?
I like to credit the defense and the offense.
I like you.
And the analysts.
That's perfect.
Kenneth Walker headed back out there. Handful of carries last time out there. Finished it off, Charles, with a short touchdown run.
Yeah, and that's pretty nice for him to be able to do that because normally where they were on the field, it's going to take some muscle to get in there, right? It's going to take some power because things are so stacked up, well blocked, and he was able to get into the end zone somewhat safely.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. To the right side, this is Henderson. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw here. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. May looking to run. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Only 1 quarter left here in Super Bowl 60 as we get set to begin the 4th. Only 1 quarter left here in Super Bowl 60 as we get set to begin the 4th. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And his kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. Shifts past him. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Back out now comes Kenneth Walker in the Seattle offense. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays, nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. The tight end in motion right. Here's Darnold. Open man right side is Cup, complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Straight ahead, Walker. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 142 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Smith and Jigba with a grab. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays.
First down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
A play fake, and it's Darnold going right back to Smith and Jigba. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Milton Williams, his 2nd sack of the night.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Darnold. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker with his third touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Seahawks have regained the lead in the second half of this Super Bowl. This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it. We've got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And that will make this a 4-point game. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was Ken Walker who finished things off with a touchdown catch. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. New England trying to get a place on offense. And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Here's May. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Douglas. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Out of the gun, they give to Henderson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
Here's 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's May. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Patriots 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the Patriot 1st down.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
That's a nice run to get himself back on the horse after his fumble. Nothing spectacular, but a good confidence-building run.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Again, it's Henderson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. 3rd and 3. To throw, it's May. Short pass caught by Henry. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Looking to throw. May. They'll swing this out to Henderson. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
First carry now for Ramondre Stevenson. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on second and third.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That is caught. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Henderson now, first and 10. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2 yards left on second down from the 9. They run once more with Henderson. And the Patriots are going to have a first and goal forthcoming as he takes this down to about the 5-yard line.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
From the shotgun, May with it. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Patriots answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth-quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead.
Makes the score Patriots 30.
So that drive spans 13 plays. And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this could become a career-defining drive for some. Down 3. Fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. This is where the legends are made in the National Football League as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. So no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Darnold now to throw. take it in by Shaheed. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Walker now on 1st and 10. Now he's into the clear again. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. It's a big play there for Seattle. 46 yards. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they? And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight. And the Seahawks have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. The CD, you know he's got great options at wide receiver, tight end, but there he looks to the backfield, and it results in a touchdown.
I love how you laid that out. So many options. You maybe forget about some of the ones that you should be covering. And they made them pay with that one, didn't they? You forget about the guys in the backfield, they're eligible too.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will make this a 4-point game.
34. Patriots 30.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. Looking to put a drive together. They'll throw with May. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. May going to give it to Henderson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Douglas, the man in motion. Throwing here is May. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
The Patriots send out their punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And take it right on the 30. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now Darnold. Well, that'll be caught by Cobb. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
10 yards on the pickup.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their 1st time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And Walker once more. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Second and 9. Now off the bootleg, Darnold. They'll get this complete to the tight end Barner. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And this offense on 3rd down today, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Darnold. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Another Seahawks 1st down. 1st down and goal to go.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They'll give it up to the big man Walker. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line.
And this is where the mental part of the game comes into play. Defense is out of timeouts. Just hold on to the football. No sense really trying to score. They should be able to run this one out.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. That is likely the final play of this game, and no better feeling, I would imagine, than taking a knee to wrap up the Super Bowl.
Culminates everything. The championship is theirs. And just think, the last play they had in practice before this game began was doing this, practicing taking a knee and winning a Super Bowl.
And they get to do just that. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the Seahawks are the class of the NFL. Seattle wins the Super Bowl. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
So that'll conclude another captivating season of the NFL on EA Sports. So for Charles Davis and all the hardworking men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying good night from Santa Clara.